A lot to talk about in today's game here, post-game. We're going to be talking about Hendon Hooker, Nate Sudfeld, Sione Vaki, Jake Bates, and Isaiah Williams. Let's go. Go ahead and smash that sub button at some point. Other content creators will be on here. It is true. We just waiting. Let's get into this game. Good win, even though wins don't matter, but there's a lot of good in this game, and it was due to the winning that was taking place on the field. A lot of winners in this. Let's get into the quarterback controversy first. We're all going to talk about it. There is no controversy here. Hendon Hooker is QB2. He showed it on the field, and he is the better of the quarterbacks, the backups there. And it's just, at this point, one looks like he is completely good to go. We're talking about Hendon Hooker. And the other one, it looks like he's not comfortable at all. That would be, obviously, Nate Sudfeld, who's been having a huge, huge issue doing what he's doing here, and not a whole lot. That's what he's doing. Hendon Hooker, he looked good. What's good, too, is he was actually throwing the football a lot. He scored the one touchdown with his legs, but make no mistake about it, he was a pocket passer in this game. He wanted to show his ability out there, that he can be a quarterback, and he sure did. Patient in the pocket. He was getting rushed. Instead of running, he just sidestepped the rusher, completed the pass underneath. Isaiah Williams and him were getting the job done. Yeah, the competition's over. If you watch the game, the biggest takeaway here is we have a player in Hendon Hooker who looks like he's been there before, and you have a guy in Sudfeld who looks scared. Yes, Sudfeld did have a touchdown that he threw, but it was generally the wide receiver all the way, and then he threw a really bad interception. It was struggle. I think the offense did better, but they struggled more with Nate Sudfeld in comparison with Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker, to me, is QB2. Big-time winner right there for Hooker, 100%. Isaiah Williams is a gigantic winner for this team today, and I think he had over 80 yards receiving. He was the guy that kept getting first down after first down. Very good at route running. He was wide open many times because of his route running. That's why we picked him up as an undrafted rookie, because his route running was excellent, and he showed it there. It sucks because they want to get they want to probably get the prototypical bigger wide receiver, right? The 6'2", 6'3" type of guy. But Isaiah Williams is the one who's shown out in preseason. Therese Fountain, Donovan Peoples-Jones, nothing burgers, really. These guys got to step up, right? And no one is stepping up from that side. Fountain looked good in training camp, but we haven't seen anything in game time, and it's all about when the lights are on. You got to do it when the lights are on. And it's just not happening right now. So even a guy who I supported, Fountain, you got to do it on the field. You just do. But, yeah, I mean, that opens up for Isaiah Williams to be a significant winner right here. Sione Vaki, wow. This guy can run. He is a great running back / wide receiver out of the backfield, slot, whatever you want to put him. You know, we have a problem, right, with when it comes to what the Lions going to do with this number 4 receiver. Why can't the Lions use also Sione Vaki kind of in a role like Theo Riddick? We just seen what he can do on the field. He is lethal in the pass game. His jukes are ridiculous. This is 2 games in a row. It is no coincidence. He is just a really good player. He brings an element that it's somewhat of a Jahmyr Gibbs light. He's so good at his juking, and he's so good at handling the football that you can put him out in the slot. You can. Why not? We've seen what he can do. We've seen it. Vaki is going to be a player that is going to be used on game day. And I'm not saying a whole lot. I'm not saying he's going to get a ton of snaps or anything. But if the Lions, they need some help, Vaki can get it done. What a great pickup in the draft. I didn't know Vaki was this good. He was good. I didn't know he's this good. He's a difference maker. He really, really is. So good for him and this team. The interior offensive line, I thought, did a much better job today than it did last week. And so that definitely opened up the holes for a player like Vaki and Donovan Knight, who I thought played well as well in the running game. And when you have the offensive line open the holes, you're going to be better in the run game. So it's good to see that for sure. It really is. So who is your player that you are definitely keeping an eye on into preseason week 3? Any player you want to name, let me know. So I thought those guys did really well. So interesting things about that was taking place with Joshua Pascal. He's in the lineup at the very end of the game. I was shocked about that, even though that fumble, but I was a little bit shocked about that. But back to Jake Bates. Well, not back to. We're going to get into Bates right now. Wow. 4 for 4. 55-yarder. That it looked like he could go in for 65 yards. He missed the extra point. That did stink. But he made up for it right after with, knocking 3 more field goals in, and of course winning the game on a game-winning field goal. Jake Bates has made the team. He's probably going to get the game ball in the locker room. So I'm excited to see Detroit Lions YouTube channel when they do the post-game locker room, because I think Jake Bates absolutely should deserve the game ball. He is the reason we won this game. It was him. We wanted to see, can he do this on an NFL team? He did it in the UFL. Okay, he looked okay, and then he had a little struggles in then training camp. But man, you got to give it. You got to give it to him. He recovered from missing that extra point. That extra point sucked. But 3 field goals and a game winner, you can't avoid that. That is with the pressure on him, and I was so happy that they did this. The pressure was on him to win the game. If he kicks it and misses, you lose the game. And it's preseason. It doesn't matter about wins and losses. But for him, this is big, right? Like, he's kicking for his future. Lions they didn't bring in competition at this point. They're definitely not doing it. Jake Bates is your kicker. So happy for him. So happy for Hendon Hooker. So happy for a lot of players on this team that needed to show out. A lot of questions still. The questions, yet we don't know. Who, besides Isaiah Williams, no one has really shown out. Caden Davis, he had the good catch. Okay. But come on, guys. Someone's got to separate right there. Lions did good. Mitchell Agood, he's definitely going to be a good depth piece for the Lions at the edge position. I'm a good with Agood. I think he makes this roster. Ukwu got hurt earlier. He came back into the game, fighting through injury and toughness, being a tough guy, trying to make this roster for sure. More good, way more good than bad. And again, it's not about winning the game. It was Jake Bates in that pressure situation for him, right? And for us and the fans. He's got to make those kicks. He's going to be doing that in the NFL, and he did it. He passed the test. I don't know what else to say except for he passed the test. He did the right thing. Happy for Bates. Happy. And the Lions are set. They know what they need help with. They have some questions, but they're still pretty good. This is a really good team. We'll see what they do. We'll see what they do going forward if they make a move when roster cuts are down for a wide receiver 4. You know, if they add another receiver right there, if they like what they did with Isaiah Williams, did he do enough to make the team? I personally like it. He has heart, and he runs great routes. Jared Goff thrives off the short pass as well. And I mean, look at a Kalif Raymond. It's not like Kalif Raymond is the biggest guy in the world, but yeah, he makes big plays. You get a guy who has a great route run, he gets open, Jared Goff's going to find that player, and I think that's something that the Lions really should think about. Really should. And I trust Isaiah Williams' ability to catch the ball and make a play. I've seen enough. So, but we'll see what they do. With that said, folks, adios.